we continue doing that, you're going to use the water from this bucket only. And trying, if you can, you're going to have to stay a little bit out of my way here because I'm going to have to cut this thing off.
Do you want me to move out of the way, Jason?
No, you're okay. No, right where you're at is perfect.
Ah, I see. You not want
Little
me to get
deeper.
that wet?
Huh?
Do you not want me to get what you're cutting wet?
No, you can, the whole fish. He's going to have to go back in water anyway. In this case, contamination is not as much of a concern.
Gotcha.
Just try and keep your hands off the fish.
I'm just trying to stay out of your way.
All right, you're doing okay. I've got the first side of it inside, so I just have to come in from the other side and free it up on the bottom. They moved a little bit. I'll wait for these guys to get them a little bit deeper again. You guys are good at this.
I tell you, it's not calculus, but
The line on the red.
I'd rather do this than calculus.
What does calculus have? How is that going to do anything for us?
Oh man, they make us do that for calculus for our science degrees to be able to do this stuff.
Calculus
It
is not
sucks.
hard.
It's not. Calculus is no fun.
calculus isn't my favorite subject, but
Oh, Jason.
Keep him asleep, keep him moist.
Yep.
I gotta step around behind you, Gavin.
Does he need to be flipped?
Let's do this. Gavin, I need you to stop for a moment. Get me a fecal container out of that bin if you could walk around the other side of the table.
on the other side of the table.
Yep. I'm going to take a little bit more out of that wound because there's still a piece of the tumor tissue that I can see connected. I'm
Yeah,
going to
I
take just a
see it.
little bit more on that side.
Okay.
What I'm going to do though is he's going to get me a container to put some fresh water so I can store that mass. Because he's a fish living in fresh water, I need to store it under the same conditions. And we'll talk about if we want to do something with that or
Does he need to be flipped?
not yet. We can get, as long as you're rinsing over the top of him, less of a concern.
I didn't know if his gills needed both sides.
As long as you're adequately getting one.
Here, I thought I was just going to get a sandwich.
Oh yeah? Gavin, if I could ask you to resume. We just removed the tumor. Alright. That wound will slowly heal, but it'll heal well underwater. These guys tend to be pretty resilient with wound healing. I give it a couple weeks, so it should start scarring over and you'll see some white tissue develop at the top. I'm going to take a little bit more off that spot, then we're going to flip them and scrape that other side and we'll wake them up. We had just a tumor, so we don't know exactly what kind yet. They can get them from viruses. There's a virus called lymphocystis.
Maybe you want to sit on
It
this
had a
side so he
tumor.
can stay out of the way for him. Might be helpful, huh? Fixing him is
Gavin,
sick.
fill another one of flush intensively right here. Amy, you keep doing what you're doing. We are going to have to flip him in a moment.
He got a bump on his tail.
He got into a fight with his friend.
Up the scale.
His friend is in fish jail.
That's good.
Well said, sir.
Well, because fish need water to survive.
That's it.
We're done?
With the mass, yes. We've got one spot that we have to scrape. Let me secure my needle if you guys can keep moistening our patient here.
Yep.
There's a scalpel blade sitting on top of the sharps container. All right. Watch my slides here, Amy. I'm going to kind of balance them next to you.
Yeah, the mass on his
Removing a growth on it. Removing a growth on it.
Flip them over. Here, stop for just a moment. You keep going, Gavin. I'm going to have you stop. Yeah, that was an interesting day.
Keep going now.
All right, rinse the whole body. Yep, you guys can keep going. Amy, you're going to go ahead and you can actually stop. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put him in recovery here.
I need gloves.
Yep,
for
you're
this?
going to need gloves now. And I'm going to rinse your gloves off again, just like last time.
Isn't he going to get no medicine in there? Or no?
We're gonna have to figure that out after we wake him up. The medicine is going to be once you get him home that we're going to put that in the tank water. Okay. And we'll have to see
Not
because the
pre-heart
medicine.
healing.
No. That's why I'm going to look at. You want to set up a medic tank, a small tank to do this
I got
in.
it.
And I'm going to look because you can get the medication over the counter from the pet store. So I'm just going to get a good option for us, and we'll have you do it that way. It'll likely be tetracycline.
Done with this?
Yeah.
Where did you smell that?
That's dirt.
Yep.
You good with me?
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Anyone need food while I'm going to grab a sandwich?
Not at the moment. I'm okay. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
All right, now you're going to sit, grab him by the tail, keep him upright, move him back and forth gently. It's already passed.
Oh, yeah?
Really? So what's the problem you're going to have with it if I got a grandfather in? I got a potential. Really? But they're giant Madagascar. They're not native.
That other area right there up by his dorsal fins
Yeah.
looked like a wound. It was deep. When I scraped it, there was an actual wound underneath. So I think that either may be,
Side, right there.
yeah, I think that may be either an infection or cancer spreading to another location. I'm going to take a look at it to see what's in the slime coat.
Okay.
But we removed it, got it off of him. He's doing good. Amy's recovering him right now.
He's getting responsive quickly.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good.
So wait, one husky back up. Look small.
You guys doing pretty good. Did you have a question about something, or were we running out of the example? If you give me just a few minutes to finish up with this patient here, I'll be right with you. You guys will be next time. Arthur, for antibiotics for this guy, what we're going to do is let's use tetracycline. You can get it from PetSmart, Pet Supplies Plus. You might be able to find a better version of it if you look online. It would be better to use a medicated feed versus using the drugs that go in the water. So see what you can find. It'll have instructions on the container that tells you how much it goes for how many gallons or per the number of fish that you're treating. If you have questions though after you get it, call me and we can work on that together. But I would get that right away today so that we can get it in the tank and start it either tonight or tomorrow. And that'll help to, if any possible infectious roll, and it'll help to protect those wounds so that they heal unremarkably. It's going to be probably about 15 or 20 minutes. I have to look at another slide for the size of the location. If you guys want to come back in 10 minutes, I'll be ready to go. I hate to keep you standing around waiting for stuff from my phone. How you doing, sir? Good. Right here.
I'm making sure it's simple. And you know this is a factor, but maybe you don't.
Fish management.
I'm not asking no questions. I was on the questions so long.
He knows he's being
And
touched.
I stand up and no blood pressure. That's right. Once here, once at home, once at the store. I said, okay,
We said we missed you at the last show.
there's like 3. So,
Quite a few.
you know who fixed it?
You take yourself off the meds? Yeah.
Because they
Was nobody checking your blood pressure while you were out?
So if you're on any kind of meds like that, and honestly, you're pushing it higher, get it checked otherwise.
It's the doctor's responsibility too.
Yeah, well, they're, you know how I feel about that. That's
I have the same feeling. No, not by far. Not by too much sometimes.
Coming too?
Good to see you though, Steve. I don't. I got a phone.
I just